to pray. There's no angels where I go, only pieces that are broken, scattered dreams across the floor. I'm home.
Alrighty, hello everybody, this is Kirusho here. Now then, let us continue. Whenever we last left off, Deku and Todoroki, they are training at the beach. And, well, let's pick up with All Might. All Might, he has maxed out the 20 Gs. And he's getting annoyed at it. Since pushing himself, this just feels like a mild day of training. As he would call David, asking if he can get his gravity chamber upgraded. Exactly how do you need to do so? To which he would have set him up with the proper people in the proper channels, along with All Might getting his house reinforced and fixing the foundation. Now, with that being said, All Might, he does want to push it a bit, as if Deku is barely going to be training, or if he's not training at all, then he's going to need to get Deku to be a bit more serious, and show him that this is, well, more than he thinks. As All Might gets the gravity chamber increased from 20 times Earth's gravity to a bit of extreme levels, which David kinda warned against, but All Might would have been insistent on it, as he gets his gravity machine to go up to not 100% Earth's gravity, 200. This actually being so dangerous, David would have just told All Might that he might actually just have to build something outside, instead of reinforcing the foundation, to which All Might would have agreed. Basically converting half his backyard into this gravity, well, room. As Deku would come home one day to see it being built. But, well, he doesn't really care. Now, Deku, he is... Let's cut to actually the next week later, around the time that it's completely built and All Might's getting ready. He would just tell Midoriya that, yes, my boy. Well, I'm aware that you've been slacking on your training, and, well, I did just get a new chamber put in. Would you like to go test it out with me? All Might trying to sound a bit excited. Really, he's just trying to appeal to Deku, trying to get him to train and get stronger. As Deku would just say, no, that's fine. I actually have a date. A date? Is this with the... Yes, Dad, it's with Todoroki. Ugh. Still don't like it when you say it like that. Fine. It's with Shota. Or... What is it? There's like a there's another way to pronounce, like... Hang on. Alright, so I just probably looked for a good 5 to 10 minutes. It's still pronounced the same. So, good information to know. Anyways, Deku, he would just ask exactly how high does it go up to, though? Yes, well, David, he was a bit more lenient on this one. He recommended that I take it easy for a second before trying to get it to stretch its legs. It's experimental. It's not really my style. As All Might's grin would somewhat turn to a scowl. A bit sour, as Deku would turn actually somewhat smiling. As he walks out. Endeavor's not really at home, he's doing hero work. And All Might, he's just trying to get things ready. He's been trying to be a good pro, but whenever he leaves the house, he does as much hero work as possible, comes home, trains, and then takes what you can call a power nap before trying to repeat the same process every day. basically crashing. Now, for that reason, he is the number 2 hero, since he can go for 6 hours straight solving crimes, then crash, before trying to repeat the same process. While Endeavor, he's able to go for a steady 8 hours to 12 hours a day, and spread that over the course of time. Instead of just trying to power through everything, speed through it, and, well, be a blur. Now, All Might, he's getting ready as he goes into the chamber and begins to train. Now then, Deku, he actually is using the Kaioken, and he's just using ×1. So he's just running to Todoroki's house, as she is waiting. Deku did pack, or well, wear workout clothes under his regular clothes. So he would get there and tell her that he's ready, as he would have gone to the bathroom, changed, and walked back out. As he would just say that, this might be a bad idea, but I know your dad's gonna overreact about it. Exactly what? Well, my dad's getting a new gravity chamber put in. Tell your dad he heard it goes up to 300. Or, well, 200. Wait, does it actually go up that high? Well, yeah. Anyways, as Deku would walk past her, her heart would skip a beat for a second, as she somewhat realizes, or well, thinks about what's going on. She's kinda just thinking that this is a bit weird. Why does she feel like this? This is all just an act, right? They're good friends, that's right. Now, this is where they would both walk in. Deku asks exactly how good is she in 15? To which she would say that she hasn't really gone up that high. Alright, well, let's start you off at 11 then. You're used to 10, correct? Yeah, I'm fairly good at it. As they would feel the gravity increase, Deku, he would just be somewhat moving around, and he's actually just doing a bit of stretching, as Todoroki can, well, feel the strain. She's trying to get at least a good bearing of movement and feel things going on, and she asks him exactly how is he able to do that. To which he would just say, years of practice. Now, come at me. As he would bring his hands up, somewhat with a smirk on his face. As well, this time things are a bit different. She would just say, oh, so they're just doing physical combat. I thought we were training our quirks. Well, we can train later, after, or well, when we need to leave. Alright. As these two would begin to fight, Deku, he would be dodging around and actually evading all of her punches and all of her kicks. As Deku, he is able to get her accustomed to 11, asking her if she needs to just bump it up when she feels like she's ready. As this is the proper way you teach somebody. You don't just throw them into a situation, which Deku has found himself in quite too often. Now, eventually we get to the point where Todoroki, she's actually able to move around a bit easier and get accustomed, as they're eventually in ×15 Earth's gravity. She knows that Deku, he can withstand higher, but he's at least showing signs of strain and muscle fatigue, since he's actually trying to counter her. As one thing would happen. She would get close to Deku, and she actually does throw him over her shoulder. But as soon as that happens, Deku, he would be able to turn his hand and grab her by the leg. As whenever she tried to flip him, Deku was able to pull the ground out from underneath her, these two actually smashing into the ground. As they would be exhausted, trying to stand up. Todoroki can barely get the ground underneath her as she feels the strain on her, as she would fall and hit the ground, barely being able to stay on one elbow, as Deku would say Kaioken, boosting himself up to times 3, as he gets the ground underneath him and actually does start moving, as he would bring his hand up, pushing the button and releasing the gravity. David somewhat predicted something like this may happen, so right on the floorboard, or well, by the floor of the machine, there are buttons set out, big and red. They only, well, come uncovered whenever the machine is activated. Basically, it's a safety measure to prevent you from getting crushed under the force of gravity, or passing out like this, since you're only supposed to do this training for as long as you can handle it, not stay in here and try and adjust to it. Cause, as Dr. Brief once said, you might crap out your own spine. Now, as soon as that happens, Deku, he would immediately just roll over as he is exhausted, throwing his arms outwards as he's breathing a little heavy. Todoroki, she would have gotten up and walk over to him, as she does bend down asking if he's okay. Yeah, I'll be fine. Give me a minute. As she does actually kneel down. She grabs Deku's backpack and actually does open, or well, get some water, opening it and taking a drink, as she would grab another one. And she would actually lay down next to Deku for a second, just trying to relax your muscles and get things properly sorted out with them. As she does ask Deku one thing. Why did you kiss me last week? Huh? Well, it's just that you said something to really piss off our dads. Oh, yeah. I've kind of been thinking on that. You see, it's kind of hard to explain. As she would just sit up, asking exactly what does he mean. As she'd be looking directly at him. He would just say that it's, well, he kind of gets where she comes from and where he comes from, so trusting people's hard. And, well, that's just it. I'm sure I can trust you, but I don't know if you can trust me. Do you think you can? So, the whole kiss was an act. Well, no, it's just, I, I didn't really, as she would just do one thing. She would just get Deku up off the ground and pull him close to her. As she would just say that it kinda didn't really feel very real. So, as these two begin to kiss, except they don't pull away immediately. This feels different, trusting, and true. As their kiss is interrupted, with Endeavor walking into the gravity room, saying that he thought this was on recently, and was still humming. So, do you two, well, young man, do you mind leaving? I need to talk with my daughter. Oh, sure. As Deku would pick up his backpack, throwing it over his shoulder, leaving. He would turn on the Kaioken times 2 as he would make his way home. He might give that new gravity chamber a test drive, actually. Since his dad kinda, well, has a schedule. Mondays, it's 2 to 8, or, well, 7 to 3, whatever. He kinda has a schedule for whenever his dad is out on hero duty. And he won't be back. Usually for a long time. Now, while Deku tries out the new gravity chamber, Endeavor, he is talking and somewhat trying to scold Todoroki on this. That she cannot date, the the number two hero's son. She is supposed to be his rival. You can't just date that boy. Well, what makes you say that? Well, that's not what I was made for, was it? As she would be annoyed. Walking out and telling Endeavor that, by the way, she heard a little rumor. All Might got a new gravity chamber. Really? Exactly why were you telling me this? Well, I heard it's actually brand new. A newer model. It's actually more effective and, goes up a bit higher. They actually had to build a brand new room outside. I've heard about this. I've actually seen a picture. As Endeavor, he doesn't believe her. Until, out of his paranoia, because it's fucking Endeavor, of course he has paranoia, he would look it up, saying that there's pictures and photos of construction workers taking pieces in and out of All Might's backyard. So, whatever he has back there, it's true. Along with the fact being that he sees this machine on a truck. He's never seen that device. It looks smaller, more compact, and, different than what he has. As All Might, not All Might, Endeavor would try contacting David Shields. After looking up his number. Endeavor and All Might, along with a few other pros and, hero organizations, they love the gravity machine. So they've been able to pour research money into it, since it's quickly becoming an essential for hero training. Now then, with that being said, Deku, he's at home, as he makes sure no one's there and he walks outside. Looking into the gravity room, seeing that it's empty, so this should be fine. He looks through, seeing that the ship has not ship, but the ship doesn't have, it's not a ship. This room, someone has a log. So, it tells who's been in, who's been out, and exactly how much gravity they've been using. Deku, seeing that his dad set it to from times 20 to times 30, and tried increasing every 10. Well, might as well give it a shot. As he would turn up the gravity. 20, fine, that's no problem. Then he hits 25, as he immediately feels the strain. And then up to 30, as Deku begins to train like this for about an hour. Eventually getting up to around 40 to 45% of Earth's normal gravity. Or times Earth's gravity. As he's actually been able to use the Kaioken times 2, and actually just train, as moving around in this is a lot heavier and, harder. So training his body is getting better, along with him trying to do what he calls a final burst, where he uses the Kaioken at his highest level, or his current highest level, which is 15. He actually just holds the form, as he's able to actually throw his hands outwards, creating gust of wind inside the room, as he's surprised by this. Now, he would be in this form for about 2 minutes before he does drop it, and immediately hit the ground, as he does try moving to his legs. He gets them underneath him as he begins to try and make his way over, and he'd actually have to try with Kaioken, which he would shout before finally being able to smash his hand forward, hitting the release button, opening the door and turning off the gravity. As he would fall outside, and be panting very heavily. It is sunset, so he needs to hurry. as he would stand up after about 5 to 10 minutes of laying down. And he would delete his, files. Basically, his time of using the gravity machine. He would delete them so it looks like his dad just went in, and the machine has stopped its humming. Huh. So, the newer model is quieter, as Deku just throws his head over into the grass looking at the sunset. Our neighbors are really gonna like that. As he hears a knock on the door. He immediately just comes to standing on his feet, getting them underneath him, as he wobbles and shuffles over to the front door. Opening it, finding that that's Endeavor. Huh? So, question. Hi. There. Hello, young man. Anyways, I would like to see this new machine All Might has. Okay, but can you drop the fire? No, I cannot. Well, I'm not letting you inside until you do. As Endeavor would comply, doing so and walking in, as Deku would show him through the house and to the gravity machine, as he looks at this giant circle in the backyard. Exactly how far does this go? 200. And you've tried it, yes? Well, no, not really. I've just been hanging from the tree right now. You kinda interrupted me. As Endeavor would somewhat turn to Deku a bit confused. Why are you doing things the old-fashioned way? Well, you can if you like, but all you're doing is torturing your body in there. To which Deku, that was supposed to be a snide remark. However, Endeavor took it a bit more serious than he thought, as he would just turn saying that training is supposed to be torture. You are not supposed to enjoy it. It is hard work. Okay, well. You can give it a shot. I'm not going to stop you. As Endeavor would just walk in, seeing a lot of new functions he's never seen on his machine. As it can increase gravity, decrease it, and even go up halfway. Along with an espresso machine. I probably butchered that very bad. Anyways, Deku, he would just say that if he's gonna... Are you done looking or are you gonna finally try it? Nothing special. As Endeavor would try using it. Deku just getting his phone ready. As he begins to record. The gauge is visible on the camera, and Endeavor, you can see him going from times 20 to 30, increasing to 40, and having it slowly bump up to 50. Which is where Endeavor, he just moves his foot forward, putting it down to the tile, expecting it to crack. It does not, so Endeavor begins to keep walking. Until he's basically looking like a robotic chicken. Since the way his head's moving, the way he's holding his breath, and, well, his movements. To which he would be sending all of this to Todoroki. Now, as soon as that happens, Deku, he gets ready. As the machine would bump up to times 60, and Endeavor would immediately hit the ground. Not being ready for that. He gets back up, and he is on his hands and knees, as the machine hits times 70 and goes up to 80 very fast. Deku, he would quickly watch as Endeavor, he cannot move, as he would bring his hand outwards, smashing the emergency release. And the door is already open, so it is a good safety measure. Now, as soon as that happens, this is whenever the machine would stop, and the hum would quiet down. Endeavor being confused by that. Just saying, Thank you, young man. Don't worry. Besides, from what I can tell, you at least beat his record. As Deku would show exactly what he's talking about. Whenever he was deleting things, he accidentally deleted his dad's top gravity record of 90. Endeavor being able to go to 80 before, well, completely having it go down on him. And it was just him eating shit. Now, Endeavor would see that he was at least able to keep his feet underneath him, and his back straight, so it wasn't all bad. As he would just leave. Todoroki would watch these videos and react, as it's hilarious. Now, let us cut to the next day in school. Let's cut to the next year. So, I believe... No, let's cut 2 years later. To around the start of the anime. Deku and Todoroki have been trying to talk and figure this all out. Them two being considered the loner couple of the school. And, well, it's kind of worked for them. Especially since people have rumors that, oh, their relationship's very serious, it's all this, it's all this, it's all this. And even someone saying that their whole relationship is basically to piss off their parents. To which both rumors are true. People, however, only pick one. Now, Deku and her are talking, as she's just saying that this will be great. However, they need a plan. And, well, this is where Deku, he gets ready. As at lunch today, during... not get ready. He gets ready for school and he would go. In first period, it is announced that students are going to be, graduating soon. So exactly what does everyone want to do? I know everybody. You want to be heroes. Now, there is actually something we have to discuss. As a lot of you may know, these two have, they have recommendations from UA. They are getting them both straight from their parents. As Deku, he would just reluctantly hold up his left arm, and Todoroki would hold out her right, saying that, yeah, we don't really care. Besides, as she would turn to Deku, saying that they kinda have a plan. To which Deku would stand up, saying that he's not taking his dad's recommendation. He doesn't need the handout. And she would just stand up saying the same thing. These two somewhat agreeing. While the teacher does mention one more person. Yes, you two. But we actually do have another student. As Miss Yayirozu is going to also be attending UA. Under a recommendation. To which, halfway across the room, she would stand up. Todoroki would immediately just look at her, narrowing her eyes quite a bit. Kind of skeptical. Yayirozu. I think I've talked to that girl once. Huh? As Deku would just turn looking at her. What's her quirk? As Deku would just ask her the question. To which she would just answer creation. Which kinda doesn't really get people talking very much. Some actually laughing at her. As Deku would just say, hey, you guys kinda can't laugh. Huh? Why? It's better than that guy's quirk. As you would turn to see some guy with probably just sticky fingers, that's it. Anything he touches his hand sticks to. And he cannot release it. I bet you there'd be a guy like that in some stupid ass high school like that. And he would just say, I don't know. sticky fingers or the ability to create a warhead in my hand. I kinda have to go with the other one. As people's eyes widen, you realize exactly the potential of her quirk. They never even thought about it like that. As Yaoyorozu would somewhat just be staring at Deku for a second. Well, yeah, I mean, I could. As everyone's a bit scared now. Her quirk might be more dangerous than his. In fact, it is. As they would all go to lunch. Now. Yeah, that should be about right. That is going to be where I believe I can end things off of, guys. I do hope you enjoyed the video, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.